So when Peter arrived in Fiji with John, I was staying at the Suva motor inn with James and Franny, and we were having a great time. Very large bedroom and pool and toddler pool, so the kiddies and I were having a great time. Also the staff there were fantastic, and they babysat for the children, and it was a really good time. We were very happy to see Pete and John. They had a hero's welcome.
And you know, when we arrived, by the time we arrived, and then Duncan arrived shortly afterwards, it was Christmas. And the scene you just saw was the kids opening up their Christmas presents, and we really spent the day at the Tradeswinds Hotel. We'll have more on that later. So just a few words on Duncan. He actually became mega hero, superhero, odd job man by achieving 7 tasks off the list in one day, as well as being chef extraordinaire. So you know, Duncan was the equivalent of archangel status a few days into the trip. What we see is him and John and everyone else on the boat going across to the Tradeswinds Hotel and dragging his Christmas present, which was an inflatable snake.
Yes, this was a story that Peter and Duncan decided they weren't going to tell me. But as they were checking out the Tradeswinds Hotel a few days earlier, a sea snake decided to crawl up the side of the dinghy near James. So that's why we bought Duncan his inflatable snake, to ward off snakes and just to have a bit of a joke.
Kick with your legs. Kick with your legs. Kick with your legs. That's it. That's good.
So here we are at the Tradeswinds Hotel. Again, the favourite family recreation is swimming about in the pool. The children are definite water babies. And then we have a very yummy Christmas dinner in the evening. And we all put on our best bib and tucker for that. And it was a really, really nice evening.
Comfortable?
Very comfortable, thank you. Yes.
Ready for dinner?
Private floating restaurant. Bartender. Actually, they were going to bring another. Yeah, I asked for another jug you like. Oh, right. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
Here we are. Christmas Day. 7 o'clock. Waiting for our food. Christmas tree and everything. We've even got a lovely menu, which I can't read.
So here's me preparing fish, and as you can see I'm not actually that good at it as I slice open my fingers, but I just wanted to note that this was another day where we had exceptionally good food. We barbecued fish, we had ceviches one day, we had lots of different dishes, none of them cooked by me, but we did eat exceptionally well in Fiji, didn't we, Jo?
Yes, we did, and that was attributed by Duncan and then Jackie and Carol and John. So yeah, because Carol and Jackie both arrived on Boxing Day, and I think we actually sailed off and visited one of the little islands just for the day.
Here we are in Nukulau. This is our first trip on NautiDreams away from Suva. It was actually a day trip, and it's a lovely little island, and it's only about 5 miles away from Suva. And coincidentally, it's the place where Dick, my stepfather, who is a Fijian Australian, spent many weekends in his youth, camped out to. It is also the place where either the people who created the revolution or the former president was locked up in the recent Fijian revolution. So, anyway, there's Nukulau, and I'll stop. Off Nukulau.
Yeah, Nuka.
That's it. Now, where are we?
Here we are in Nuka. the four of us are actually going to see the local chief to ask permission to moor in his lovely island for a couple of nights. To do this, we give him an offering of kava, which is from the root of a tree and has some weird anesthetic properties. So we have to partake of this drink and ask his permission. And on the way back, we saw some hunky locals, using Jackie's vernacular, playing rugby.
Dive. Go on then. There's Jackie.
Today is December 31st, 1999, morning of Jamie's birthday, and we sail back to Suva. I think we leave around 6 a.m. and the journey back it's about 15 miles to Suva from Nukulau. And what is just a wonderful sight is to see dolphins, which as you can see now just look amazing.
Then we have on helm, and there's John. What is it? Finger in the back.
So we're now back in the Royal Suva Yacht Club, and we're celebrating James's birthday. He's opening up lots of noisy presents, and all of the adults are warming up to celebrate the Millennium event at the actual yacht club.
Hot rock, electronic guitar. How do you turn it off? Smash.
Yeah, headphones.
Alright, this is a guitarist.
I think I may be in the forepeak.
Alright. Go on. Go to play these out, Jamie. You can't stop playing the guitar. That's it, one more. Birthday cake. Cheers. You guys, you gotta do cheers, Carol. That's bad luck.
Yeah, right. Bad luck to put this on your wheel as well.
Carol, come on.
Cheers. Duncan, if you don't cheers us.
Come on, Scottish bastard.
Cheers. All the best. Happy birthday, Jamie.
Duncan.
So after being at the yacht club, we just all decided to get back to the boat for the actual Millennium, where there's some very nice bottles of champagne chilling, and also some out-of-date flares to be let off.
Debris.
New Year's Day we spent at the Tradewinds for a very yummy brunch. We said a sad farewell to John and Carol as they're leaving for their next part of their trip. And we all spent an enjoyable day.
Recovering from hangovers at the Tradewinds.
A day or so later after New Year's Day, we decided to go for a little day trip into sort of the heart of, I suppose, Fiji. There's a tropical rainforest, and we had great walks through the rainforest and found lots of watering holes for us all to get wet and cool off. And a lot of fun was had by all.
It was a great change from all of the chores we were doing preparing for our next trip, and in the end, though, it was quite a long walk. We must have walked about 10 miles, and unfortunately the kids couldn't do the whole walk. They did very well, but so it ended up Duncan and I having to carry them out of the rainforest, and we had a very relaxing day, an evening in a forest lodge. The reason we have a shot of this boat in the bay is this actually belongs to Ty, who was a neighbour of ours at the Royal Suva Yacht Club. He's actually a bit of a crackpot, and he's been trying to get to Tonga for quite a while, and he's been keeping us amused with all of his things that he's done on the boat. We're actually not sure he's ever going to make it.
Yeah, I'm quite a character.
So here we have a shot of Pete's mum on the boat and Joe, and she arrived not long after Jackie left, and we'd had fun with Jackie. She was there just a short time, just about a week, and also just as Joe arrived, this Hurricane Iris also arrived, and so she was in for watching this quite amazing thunder and lightning storm. Sailing was delayed, but then we did manage to go to Nukulau again and had a really nice picnic on the beach. And also you'll see Peter and Duncan with their #1 haircuts.
Yes, this is all part of the ritual of getting out to New Zealand, and also we were just going a bit stir crazy with so many tasks and getting too hot, so we decided let's just shave it off.
Okay.
What colour is that, Duncan?
White, as it was last night. I certainly wouldn't be seen dead drinking a pink drink.
So there they are, sitting
Here we are again at Suva Motorin, and a little story about us getting to here is when I was provisioning the boat for the boys for their trip to New Zealand. It was so hot that day. I think I just suffered with chronic dehydration. That night I went to bed with a headache that I've never had in my life, and ended up at the surgery the next day, and then had a shot of pethidine, morphine, sleeping stuff, and I slept for like 8 hours. It was bliss. And I woke up at the Suva Motor Inn, which I thought I was dreaming, and then we had a really nice Bon Voyage meal with the boys, and
James had great fun. He got up onto the stage and started dancing all over the place. Maybe he was happy that I was going.
No.
That's it. Oh, brilliant. Do it again. Again.
Now we're saying farewell to everyone that we've met in Fiji. There was a German couple with their family. That was Stefan, Melanie, and Dennis and Mimi. Their kids actually are the same age as Franny and James, and they've been cruising for a couple of years. In fact, they had their kids whilst they were cruising. And also going around the Royal Suva Yacht Club and saying goodbye to the bar and pool table, and I mean, we'd sort of grown fond memories of this place, haven't we, Joe?
Yeah, no, it was a great place to hang out.
Hi everyone. See you in Apua.
Bye bye family, bye bye mummy, bye bye Royal Suva Yacht Club. It's really sad to say goodbye to Fiji. We had a great time there, and but we're looking forward to this leg over to New Zealand and seeing them in 10 days time. Looks like it's going to be, if the weather's going to be like this all the way across, it's going to be a great time. Bye everyone.
Taking us out of Suva. What? Oh yeah. Yeah, somewhere behind us is the
ley line markers to bring us out through the reef, just over Pete's left shoulder at the moment, bobbing around, but two marks on the hill in the background which, once they're aligned, mean you're on a safe passage out through the reef, which is pretty handy because there's the reef just over there, probably about 60 or 70 feet to shallow water on that side.
Sandwiches and beer to celebrate. You're going to talk about swollen feet, scars and face. Alright, yeah, zooming in. Don't know where they came from either. He's scratching me.
Ducking and weaving. Sort of cumulus, and as you go towards the horizon they sort of get denser and denser. Towards the sort of morning. We're really very lucky with the weather during this leg, and the next few shots just really show some of the weather shots and the clouds that we experienced, you know, early on in the trip, just after leaving Fiji, we spent a couple of days really just dodging cloud systems or cells of squalls, which is great fun, you know, just sort of figuring out what the best track was, and then more often than not we would be in the sunny part, but experiencing a good wind system. My favourite thing though was really waking up in the mornings, if you had the morning watch, and as the sun rises, you're cruising along at 7 knots. It really and you're still in your shorts and t-shirts. It really was great sailing. One of the fortuitous things for the Fiji-New Zealand leg was the planning it around a full moon, and it was great watching this moon go down, usually in the morning, and then you could almost sail by the moonlight in the evening, as these pictures were showing.
And having a celebratory beer.
And the speed is 6.1 knots. Probably be doing one knot without it.
Well with the world. Hey Duncan?
All is very well. Now we're close to heaving to with a spinnaker.
So here we are with the top of the spinnaker. And Duncan flying it there.
Yep.
Just chilling now, that's going to be tight up, and a pretty successful smooth drop. It's going to be just surface, and it's now pretty fast state of the about to set, fingers crossed, there isn't a horizon here, and it's really our screen flat.
There's the sun going down.
So after 7 days of glorious sailing from Fiji, the night before we see New Zealand, we hit some pretty heavy weather and ripped the main from Lufterleach at about 3 a.m. So it's all hands on deck, get that down, get the jib to sort of handkerchief size. But despite lack of sail area, we still make 7.5 knots all the way into Apua. So it was good news is land, but it's sad to see the end of a glorious leg.